Hello, Richard. I'm sitting here with Richard Paradise in Berlinale at the Ritz Carlton, and I'd like you to tell us a little bit about the many film festivals you've been running successfully for a couple of years now.
Yes,
decades.
a few. Yes, Bruno, always great to see you, especially in Berlin.
Yeah.
I'm Richard Paradise. I'm the founder, executive director of the Martha's Vineyard Film Society, which also produces 6 film festivals.
Wow.
6 film festivals, Bruno, now. Now, it all started with the festival 19 years ago, the Martha's Vineyard International Film Festival.
Yeah.
And my main purpose in Berlin is always to see great European films. This is the best festival for seeing what's coming out new for the year that I hopefully will program in September. September of each year is our International Film Festival. But we also do these other more genre-specific festivals, film music, documentary, environmental. We do those throughout the summer months on the beautiful island of Martha's Vineyard.
Tell our audience where that sits in the state. Some don't know about that.
Yeah, that's true. Martha's Vineyard is this really wonderful little island, a resort island. It's just maybe an hour and 15 minutes south of Boston on the southern coast, Cape Cod, off the Cape Cod coast of Massachusetts. And Martha's Vineyard, especially in the last 25, 30 years since I've been there, has changed greatly and has become really an epicenter for cultural events, for meeting of really interesting people from finance, film, entertainment, academia, politics. People come in the summer to have a good time, but when they're on vacation, they also want to engage in dialogue. They want to have discussions. They want to see great films. They want to see plays, and of course they want to go to the beach, but it is a wonderful meeting place. It's got a unique history. It's been in existence as a place settled about 360 years ago. So it's a very old place in the United States. But it's got this wonderful vibe, especially in the summer. That's the sort of the golden time of year for Martha's Vineyard. But of course, I live there year round, and I'm
biased.
Yes, and I'm showing movies year round at our Martha's Vineyard Film Center. So we have our own venue,
Good.
Very high tech venue, and so. Berlin has always been a special festival for meeting international filmmakers, to select, hopefully program European films, especially films that maybe are not French or Italian or German, which are usually the 3 countries that Americans think of when they think of foreign language films. But I love playing films, from Eastern European countries, Scandinavian countries, all across the globe for that matter. And the International Film Festival is really, really the focal point of international world cinema. My other festivals tend to be more US-based films, productions, but the International Festival is almost exclusively world cinema.
How many films are you screening at the International Festival?
Yeah, well, it's not a huge amount. We're not like Berlin.
Of course.
We probably will have about 22 feature-length films, and then maybe about 30 or 40 short film programs. And so the focus is really to give people a flavor of the world, culture of the world through film, the expressed through film. I always say sort of the big world in a little place, because we are kind of a small island. We have maybe a population of 20,000 year-round. It does go up to about 80, 100,000 in the summer, so it's a great expansion in the summer months. And I want to try to bring them a viewpoint other than an American viewpoint of international, universal concerns and issues. And that could run the gamut. I mean, it could be anything each year. I mean, obviously the slate of films is different every year. But we invite filmmakers. We have Q&As after our films. We have parties, of course. What would be a festival without one or two really nice parties? And then people get to explore the island, of course. They have time during the mornings, early afternoons to explore. Our festival is mostly afternoon to late evening.
Right.
And yeah.
What makes you most proud in your achievements so far as a festival founder? Is it like owning your own festival venue, or what's
Yeah, I would say that is a crowning achievement. And we built it 12 years ago, but we only took full ownership 2 years ago.
All right.
And so it took about 10 years to get the courage and also the money to buy it from the developer who built it for us, for our specific purpose. But I guess longevity, 25 years, doing festivals, starting from very humble beginnings. We were just a screening series with 16 millimeter projectors showing movies once or twice a week in different rented spaces. And we really jumped around and was kind of a gypsy organization for the first probably 10 or 11 years before we were able to get to the point where I felt confident that we could build a new cinema. This cinema was built brand new from ground up, the whole building, and we got to really design it and develop it to our specifications. So, and as you might remember, Bruno, that was around the time when everything was switching from 35 millimeter film to digital. So we never even had to purchase 35 millimeter projectors. We just went right into DCP projectors, and it's been great. So I guess longevity and just bringing so many quality films, probably 2,000-3,000 films to our community. Also, which doesn't relate to the festival so much, but I think I'm also most proud of is the community partnerships we have and all the programming that we do with other community partners, other nonprofits, whether it's in healthcare, mental health, environmental issues. We try to collaborate with as many other nonprofits as possible and really bring and engage the community. And I think that's the future of cinema. I really believe, especially for art house cinema, you have to engage your community in other ways other than just advertising or showing a movie. So I think I'm very proud of those engagements that we have.
And can you remember and share with us like a memory of one film you're really happy you shared with your community?
Well, first thing that comes to mind always is the first film, the opening night film of the 2012 Martha's Vineyard International Film Festival, because that was our opening night of the Film Center. The Film Center was completed like 2 days before our opening night.
Wow,
and we got it done, and we played the film Searching for Sugar Man. You remember that film? About Rodriguez, the musician, the Latina musician who had pretty much been not discovered, kind of lost, and was rediscovered in South Africa, of all things.
Yeah, it was great.
And
great
his
soundtrack.
music was kind of the heartbeat of the anti-apartheid movement.
Yeah.
And he became a folk hero in South Africa, nowhere else. Even in his home country of America, no one knew him. But he had, because of this documentary that they made, he was resurrected. And we actually had, I think it was his sister that came to the screening at the festival, but I eventually got to see him in person perform music. So that was quite a special night, and I'll always remember that movie.
Plus the relief of having completed the building and all of that
That's
in
right.
time.
That's
I
right.
think that film played in Cannes somewhere.
I think it did.
I think a friend of mine,
Yeah, it's an amazing music doc, life story, amazing story.
I do remember watching it and loving it. Now for my filmmaker community and friends.
Yes.
Can you share a little, can you give them some tips of what to do on the circuit, on the festival, when you apply, where to apply, what?
Oh, okay. For filmmakers, I would say, well, you just got to get a hold of me. That's really it, because our feature-length films are all curated by me. And I do take solicitations, but a lot of it is what I see at festivals. You know, I go to about 6 major festivals a year in different parts of the world. I go to Asia, to Busan,
Right.
in Korea. Sometimes I go to Tokyo. I go to Berlin. I go to Sundance, of course, starting the year in January. I go to Tribeca. I go to this wonderful festival in Latin America, in Colombia, in Cartagena,
Oh, yes.
which gets all the Latin films,
Yes.
Spanish-speaking films. So I'm really out there trying to discover gems, hidden gems. And of course, I work with distributors all year long, so sometimes they'll tell me about a film and I can show it at the festival. But of course, distributors want you to play it theatrically, so eventually that will happen. But for a filmmaker, if they look at our festival and they think they're a good fit, the types of films that we show, then I would just say, get a hold of Richard Paradise. Send me an email or talk to Bruno. He'll give you my email address, and I'd happy to look at a screener online. Only the short films do we use a platform. We use Film Freeway
Right.
for submissions. That's only short films, but feature-length films, they have to
Direct.
get through me.
All right. And since Sundance plays an important role,
Yes.
and it sort of has changed, has moved, developed, and complicated, what should filmmakers do when they go there without a film, for instance?
Right.
What should they look for? Network?
Wow.
Where?
Yeah, I mean, Sundance is a little harder than, say, like Berlin, where
Yeah.
there's an actual market, and you can really get a market badge as a filmmaker and really pitch your project to a lot of different production companies and film funds and commissions. Sundance, it's a little bit more like discreet. There are financiers, there are distributors at Sundance, of course, but there's no market. You can't walk around, Martin Gobis. You can't walk around and meet people in their booth. So you really have to study the attendee list and really try to set up meetings ahead of time and do your best to try to reach out to people.
And crash parties and then attend to panels and stuff like that?
Yes, you have to get into parties. That's where a lot of the go-getters are, a lot of the other filmmakers who either are in the festival or they were alumni. A lot of alumni get invited back every year. They love going. Like I go to the HBO party every year, and I meet so many filmmakers that I've worked with over the years, and they don't even have films at Sundance that year. So, it's harder at Sundance. It's expensive. It's very remote. If you're a European filmmaker, there are many markets in Europe at film festivals like Berlin, like Cannes.
And Cannes, yes, of course.
That you can really reach and get people easily. Doesn't mean they're going to listen to you, of course, but you know where they are. You can find them a lot easier.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much,
Bruno. It's always great. I want to shout out to your wonderful website, your blogs at filmfestivals.com. I read it almost every day, except when I'm at Berlin. It's a little hard to keep up with, but I always enjoy getting your email newsletter when I'm back in the States, because it really has a pulse on festivals all around the world, especially in Europe. And I don't know anyone else that's doing it as good as you are, Bruno. So thank you for your contributes to the film industry.
Thank you so much, Richard. It's always a pleasure. We've met, we go back maybe 20 years, I think at
so.
Film Festival.
Was it an art house or was it? No, it was that other festival.
In Las Vegas.
Yes.
Film Festival Summit.
Yes, Film Festival Summit, which I don't know if they are there anymore. Yes, rest in peace. But the Film Festival Alliance is having a meeting in June in Chicago.
Right.
In combination with Art House Convergence, which is trying to make a comeback after 3 years. So hopefully it's going to get off the ground again, and we'll have that annual meeting in the United States that we always enjoyed right prior to Sundance. It was always a conference pre-Sundance.
Well, we
Utah.
wish them luck, and thank you so much.
Thank you
for sharing your insight. Thanks a lot.
Fantastic,
Richard.
Bruno. Ciao.
Thank you.